all, is that thing recording?
Yes.
All right, then come on into the courtroom. There's no recording in the hallways adjacent to the courtroom. No, these are areas where I may approve an exception for that. No, all right, officer, please have this gentleman wait. We're going to conduct a contempt of court proceeding for violating the order against prohibiting
even though,
recording
as you can
during
see
court hours.
right here.
Hello everyone and welcome back to CH and Ty Audits. In today's video, we are reviewing an interaction brought to us from the channel Civic Duty out of Randolph County, Indiana, that happened on June 29th, 2022. Civic Duty was going to Winchester City Hall to check some records. In order to get to the clerk to check the records, Civic Duty had to pass the city courtroom. That's where this interaction started. Let's get into the video.
Nope. Here to check up on the records.
Okay, I'll guide you. You come back to window 2.
Thank you. We have a wedding in progress now. I'll be respectful of the wedding. Hey, Judge.
Yes.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
How did you sit there in that meeting and let them pass a unconstitutional ordinance without saying anything?
Well, first of all, is that thing recording?
Yes.
All right, then come on into the courtroom. There's no recording in the hallways adjacent to the courtroom.
It's not live, so I'm not gonna step in your courtroom.
No, you can either be here, turn off the recorder, or you can leave, or you can record.
We can come over here and look at the. Or actually, it's right here, right?
Yes.
I'm protected by C&D.
No, these are areas where I may approve an exception for that.
Where does it say you may?
A judge may authorize
Okay.
not be exhibited after the proceeding has been concluded, or only for instructional purposes in educational institutions.
Well, those both are right there, and that's what I'm going for. So.
What institution are you representing?
Huh? Myself. I'm press, and the definition of press on Indiana law is that I generate ad revenue, which I do. Right. So I am press.
What are your credentials?
The state of Indiana says that press right there, my civic duty right there, my YouTube channel generates revenue through ads. Right. So therefore I'm press. That's the definition underneath the Indiana law, Indiana codes of what press is.
Do you happen to have a citation for that?
Offhand, no, I didn't bring it with me because I wasn't anticipating this. But I can tell you, if you looked it up, you could find the definition of press underneath there. It's quite easy to find. I found it. I'm a nobody, so other than that, I just wanted to ask. I'm in the process of going down here to the clerk's office. Hi.
All right. Well, still, the order has been very clearly posted. You are allegedly in violation of that order. You're going to need to step inside. We're going to need to have a hearing on this.
This is a public access area.
The hallway next to the courtroom
is public access.
You have the right to be here, but you don't have the right to record.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is court in session at this moment?
Yes.
Is there actual cases being heard right now at this moment?
The court is in session. Those
because
hours
the
are
sign
posted.
says that there's a wedding in session, in progress.
Yes.
Which is clearly on video here.
The wedding concluded. The sign just hasn't been taken down yet.
So would this be a retaliation for the question I asked you about the unconstitutional order being passed? The ordinance being passed?
Did you ask me about it?
Yeah. How did you just sit there and allow an unconstitutional ordinance be passed without saying a word?
Typically, the judiciary branch is entitled to give the legislative branch more deference when they are passing a law, unless the issue of constitutionality is before that court in question. I was simply here watching to make sure
as
to
a
see
witness. But did you not swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States? Did you?
Yes.
I mean, can I ask why you're shaking too as well?
Sorry, potassium is low.
Okay. I mean, my wife, she has low iron, so
right,
I understand.
Exactly. Yep. It's been a long morning, almost to lunchtime. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what time is it actually right now?
11:30.
11:28.
Yep.
Okay. But as far as I can see, there's no court in session. So.
No. All right, officer. Please have this gentleman wait. We're going to conduct a contempt of court proceeding for violating the order against prohibiting.
Even though,
recording
as you can
during
see
court hours.
right here,
Okay.
I'm not live.
Okay.
Which clearly states underneath here, I'm doing this for news purposes, which is stated right here as well.
That's why we're going to have
So-
a hearing. You'll have a chance to explain yourself, turn off the recording during the
I
proceedings.
will not. I'm going to continue to conduct my business here, which I was in the process of doing before I saw you. So, as far as I'm concerned, you don't make laws from the judicial branch. So
No, but I regulate the business of this court, and recording in the areas adjacent to the courtroom is
And
disrupting
it says-
court business.
without approval for the Indiana Supreme Court, which is a First Amendment right underneath the federal Constitution to record anywhere from public anything you can see, the officers use the plain view doctrine to use that, which I have the same right to use the plain view doctrine, and anything I can see from plain view in a public accessible area is completely legal, and nothing can trump that, not even a judge's signature. So
Ryan, we'll discuss this more thoroughly.
no,
here.
thank you.
No. Officers, detain him in the courtroom, and we'll get started here momentarily.
This situation is similar to that which I experienced back in May, where the judge is obviously butthurt and wants to have total control regardless of the rights afforded to us by the Constitution. So, he asks armed agents of the state to bring a man into the courtroom so he can formally order that the man be forced into a cage. This behavior is disgusting morally and is an example of a judge abusing a rule for purposes of his own rather than the purposes that the rule was written in the first place. Let's continue watching, and I will explain what I mean by that later on in the video.
I would suggest you guys, you're kind of a supervisor, I would suggest you guys get the sheriff for that. Jordan, if you really want to excuse yourself, I understand why you would from this situation. There's kind of a personal thing here, but if you want to sit back and advise these guys, I wouldn't have no objection to it.
I'm here because I was close.
But
okay, now
as you can see right here, the reproduction will not be exhibited until after the court proceeding, which I am not live. It's being recorded, and that refers to me uploading it. It cannot be uploaded before court is over and all objections are heard. There's actually no court proceedings going on right now. Court is over for the day. Just because it's not before noon doesn't mean it clearly states. So, as you guys can see, I'm following up with everything. I've actually talked to the FBI yesterday, or not yesterday, the day before the day we talked. The FBI is picking up the case. So I would really suggest we not dig the hole deeper. All I asked him was how did he sit there while they passed an unconstitutional ordinance. And then he tries to get me to come in the courtroom. See, now if I go in the courtroom, I'm in violation.
Well, absolutely.
Out in a public, out in a public
Absolutely.
accessible area, I can't violate that. They can't. The Constitution trumps that. Completely trumps that.
Well, I understand that. At this point, the way I understand it from what I just heard, is the judge would like you to turn it off and come in and have a hearing right now on what's going on. But
I would disagree. There's been no arrest. Therefore, he can't force me to come into this courtroom to have a hearing for that. Just by him stating this judicial code it's not law. It's not law.
we understand it's
You
not.
guys are law
it's
enforcement.
Not, it's not a Indiana code.
Yeah, it's not.
We
It's
understand
not.
that it's judicial code.
See, Indiana code, right here, would say Indiana code with these numbers on it. You know what they look like, 5, 14, 3, 3. That's an Indiana code.
Oh yeah. And you know,
That-
we enforce primarily 35 and time.
criminal code and judicial code.
Yeah, but a city judge can't trump the Constitution. He can't. Nobody can. Not even the Congress.
Right.
Not even the Congress.
Right,
Let
I understand that.
alone this guy. He
Right.
can't do it. So, if I was you, I would call daily and get clarification on that, because I can clearly prove there is no court in session. There's a wedding that's up there. So therefore, court is out of session. Therefore, this is all null and void and irrelevant. And that's what it is. So I would really suggest nobody risk their badge. And by me explaining this already, your qualified immunity is at risk here. Therefore, I can put a suit on bonds here. If that's ignored, I've explained it, I've expressed it, I've proven, as you guys can look in here, there is no court in session. He can have court up to noon, but court in session means cases being heard, not just because this is a courtroom. Yeah. So there's no court being in session, so therefore I can't violate. This is set forth to protect the people that are coming to court.
Right.
And if there's nobody here, there's no complainant, the judge can't be the complainant in this matter. Just like disorderly conduct. You can't be a complainant in disorderly conduct.
Right.
You need somebody else as a
problem.
victim. The judge cannot be his own victim in this case. That is somebody coming in, having the court heard or whatnot, and doesn't wish for that to be
recorded.
exposed or
Sure.
recorded.
What's your business today? Like, what do you want?
I'm going back here
What do you
to
want?
check up on a public records request.
Okay.
I just crossed paths with him and asked him.
I would say just go ahead and take care of that
Yeah,
real
okay.
quick, and
Okay.
we'll talk to him. Okay?
Gotcha.
Just don't leave until we speak with you, and we'll make sure.
Completely understand.
Thank you.
Hi, Cor. So,
There's that, and there's that.
okay. Any
They
charge?
need to getting you called.
Any charge? Well, I figured I had to go up to the courthouse up there anyways because I kind of had a dispute with them.
Okay, there's supposed to be 10 cents a page, I was told, and I
Okay.
didn't know that, so I've not been charged.
No, that's fine. If I got you guys take card or no?
No, we don't.
No,
No, we
crap.
don't.
So I have to go to the ATM.
It's supposed to be 10 cents per page. We do not have any change on site.
All right.
I've not been charging you up to this point, so let's do it from this point forward after today,
100%.
because I did not know that.
See, and you guys are only doing
So-
10 cents per page. Like
Yeah,
down there
on
at
black
the
and white.
down there at
on
the
black
county.
and white copies, it's 10 cents per
Down there at the
page.
county is supposed to be $1 per page. But my question with them was, she said that we couldn't come in, for example, like say I wanted to examine something here but didn't want a physical copy. So it states here that I'm allowed to record it with my own equipment. And she's trying to claim that nobody's allowed to record anything or any of that stuff with their equipment. And I was like, well, the law, she goes, well, mine supersedes yours. I said, well, what's yours? She said 514-3-3. I'm like, it's the same exact code. She's like, well, I can charge you $1. I said, well, that's not what's in dispute here. The dispute is public agent may not deny or interfere with the exercise. I have a right to make copies myself with my own equipment. And she was like, no, you don't. It says right here, but I don't know if you wanted that, but that's basically for that.
Keep it.
So, all right.
Keep it. Keep it.
Now I gotta go deal with these guys. So,
So, okay, but there are those.
all right, I
So
appreciate
we're
you.
even now.
Yep,
Good.
and I don't have any. Oh, well, not yet. I don't have any
Okay.
at the moment, but we'll see if we do.
Okay.
Thank you. I
Okay,
appreciate
thank
you. All right, so we got the public records.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll call Dave and see
So am I detained still at the moment, or?
Well, I just want to make sure we get everything cleared up.
Yeah, that's why I prefer it
Yeah.
all done the proper way and everything.
Yeah.
But
If we get it cleared up, then that answers questions in the future if it were to happen again. So.
yeah, and that was my understanding from what I looked up in the definitions of it. It does say he may authorize, but even then, this don't supersede
Yeah.
state law. Don't
Yeah.
supersede
And
Constitution.
A lot of this stuff that is not explicitly put into words
Mm-hmm.
in the law is usually determined by Supreme Court if that case
Yeah.
would come.
Well, Glick versus Cuniff gives me the right to record any public officials in the course of their duty in public property unrestricted. That's a
And-
Supreme Court ruling.
But then you'll have rulings, but then they can have rulings
Yeah,
modify.
and you know,
that's
I just got done arguing with somebody about that myself too, because they were talking about Roe v. Wade and, well, what happened? Law says this, law says that, and I was like, well, that's one thing you don't understand. That stuff changes over the years.
Yeah.
That was put in place in the 70s. We took it down. Like, it happens all the time. Nothing's in stone.
Be modified.
Yeah.
As it goes, so.
But that was my thing. Everything was fine until I asked the question, and the second I asked the question, it was an issue. Like, that's what got me. Now, if it was an issue, the first thing he would have said is, hey, this right here, stop. Instead of, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Then it was, I asked the question. He said, wait, are you recording? I said, yes. And he was like, I need you to step in this courtroom now. No. The second I step in that courtroom, I know I break the law. And he can't force me into this courtroom without, I mean, I know you guys know what you're doing, so.
Shortly after this, the GoPro Civic Duty was recording on dies. It is easy to hear earlier in the video that the cops wouldn't detain Civic Duty absent a warrant. The judge told Civic Duty that a hearing would be held on the issue whether he was present or not, so Civic Duty left without being harmed. It is obvious that the hearing will result in a guilty verdict, seeing as the judge was the accuser, prosecutor, and judge in the same matter. Civic Duty needs your support, as this could easily result in him serving time in jail for standing up for our rights. Go subscribe to him and consider donating to him to help him in the event that he needs legal counsel. Links will be in the description below. Earlier in the video, I said that this was an example of the judge abusing a rule for purposes other than the rule was created for. When we look at the history of the prohibition, as advised by the Commission of Judicial Conduct in Indiana, they state, historically, the prohibition on the broadcasting of courtroom proceedings began on a national level in 1937. When the American Bar Association, or ABA, responded to the massive media coverage and circus atmosphere by adopting Canon 35, which prohibited broadcasting and photographic coverage of courtroom proceedings. They say that over time, the ABA has had a more relaxed view on the issue since, but in many states, the rules are still in place. Knowing the reason this rule was initially put in place really shows that this rule has now become a tool for judges to abuse anybody exercising their rights just for the sake of abusing them. As it was obvious, the judge is not trying to protect any proceedings by issuing a warrant. It is simply a flex of their tyranny muscles. Don't forget to head over to Civic Duty's channel and tell him CH and Ty sent you. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe for more content like this. The new Hide Behind the Badge shirt is available now on Spring. Be sure to check it out and get yours. Link is in the description below. Also, consider joining our channel as a member to get access to content early and in some cases completely exclusive content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.